And I've always been a fan of cowboy guns. So this is a Henry 4440. Awesome gun.
You really are a sheriff, like they used to be back in the days.
I like to think so.
Alors ce matin, on a rendez-vous avec un personnage totalement incontournable ici. C'est le shérif du comté de Pinal. C'est une superstar. Et vous allez voir qu'ici dans le comté, c'est sans doute le personnage le plus important et en tout cas qui a le plus de pouvoir. On le voit indirectement, les bureaux sont gigantesques et sur la façade, il est bien noté en très grand, c'est le bureau du shérif.
Ce qui est amusant, hein, c'est qu'à peine entré ici à l'accueil, en attendant le shérif, eh bien déjà, il y a un grand écran qui projette en permanence les interventions musclées, les arrestations choc, notamment de migrants illégaux. Et donc l'idée, c'est vraiment d'en mettre plein la vue dès qu'on franchit cette porte. Imaginez-vous le shérif ici, c'est vraiment une personnalité incontournable. Il est presque plus important que le gouverneur de l'État. Le shérif, il a presque tous les pouvoirs. Et alors, contrairement à ses députés, ses adjoints, le shérif, il est élu politiquement. Et donc, en particulier, le shérif Lamb qu'on va rencontrer, c'est une véritable star des réseaux sociaux.
Hey folks, Pinal County Sheriff Mark Lamb here. So I get a lot of questions about border security and in particular the crisis story.
On m'avait dit que le shérif Mark Lamb, il ne répondait qu'à 2 livres, la Constitution américaine et la Bible. Et dès qu'on arrive ici, à l'accueil, eh bien la Bible, elle est là, elle nous attend. On nous a fait monter dans le bureau du shérif. Et déjà, on a une petite idée du personnage. Il y a des posters de lui à la manière de super-héros, comme dans les films de cinéma. On a même un skateboard à son effigie. Et puis, derrière son bureau, on a forcément tous les clichés patriotiques des États-Unis. Ça donne une idée du personnage. Sheriff, how do we call you? We just say sheriff?
Yeah, sure. Sheriff works.
Sheriff, would you take just 1 minute to show us some things in your office? Because as I understand, you're quite of a star here in the United States.
Well, as you can see, I love America. Oh, yeah. I love everything about America. I don't know if you noticed this.
This is Donald Trump, yeah? A friend of yours, right?
Yeah. I'd like to think he's a friend. I think he's a great president. I thought he did really good. You know, a lot of people, we're soft nowadays. And so we don't like tough people. They hurt our feelings sometimes. And so the way I always explain President Trump is, have you ever been to a junkyard where there was a dog with no teeth guarding it? No, because a dog with no teeth does no good. So yes, that dog may growl at you and he may nip at you and bark at you and he might even bite you. But guess what? Nobody's getting in the junkyard. And that's his job. If he came back, I would certainly support him. That's for sure. I think what he did was great. And it'd be great to have him back in there. And honestly, we're going to need somebody strong like President Trump to help fix this country. It's going to be even harder to fix it now because they've completely jacked it up.
In Europe, we don't have sheriff.
Yeah.
This is something that comes from the early America, right?
Yeah, it actually comes from England. Used to be the guy who would be in charge of making sure everybody followed the rules in the shires.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, you are elected.
I'm elected, so the sheriff is your only elected law enforcement person in the country. My job is I protect the people from the bad people and I protect them from government overreach. Because I don't respond, I don't work for the governor, I don't work for the president, I don't work for anybody but the people.
It gives you some kind of independence.
It does. It gives the ability to do what's right.
But you have a lot of power.
Yes. People gave me the power, so I treat that, to me it's something sacred because the people have entrusted me with that power, so it's my job to make sure that I don't abuse that power. So.
Other things that we can see?
Yeah, so this is, I love guns, so this was given to me by a constituent after I won the election, and then my chiefs gave me these grips, which is the 310 to Yuma grips. There's a movie called 310 to Yuma, cowboy movie, and these are the grips. So this is a real gun. And then my wife, when I won the election, I've always been a fan of cowboy guns. So this is a Henry 4440. It is a 4440 caliber. Awesome gun. Feel how heavy it is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's a heavy gun. It's really, the reason why it's so heavy is because it's a big caliber. So if you were to shoot it, it shoots like a 22. So it shoots like a much smaller caliber. Very good gun. Iconic gun in America. And Henry is the brand.
You really are a sheriff, like they used to be back in the days.
I like to think so. I think that's what America misses, is the toughness of like the American grit that built this country. Men who are willing to stand up to those who are dangerous and create a society where we can walk out in the streets, we used to be able to, and not fear being hurt or harmed. Now you go into these major cities, I don't think people feel that security anymore.
Okay, thank you. So I think we have work to do.
Let's do it. Let's go out and we'll go see some of the areas and we'll show you what we deal with on a daily basis.
So does it mean that it's getting dangerous?
Better to have and not need than to need and not have,
For sure.
right?
So our county is very large, 5,400 square miles. It's very big. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna head to the south part of our county. That is where we deal with a lot of the smuggling that comes through, the human smuggling and the drug smuggling.
And how is it that it's so easy to bring in drugs in America here at the border?
Well, when you have an open border, that makes it easy. All the Border Patrol agents are tied up with dealing with 7,000 people coming to the border every day. And so you just don't have the agents out in the field stopping loads. They can't stop every car that comes in. And so the cartels have gotten more and more bold about how much drugs they're bringing in.
And do they become also more and more violent?
The cartels?
Yes.
Absolutely. The average American thinks that this is an Arizona problem or a Texas problem, and it's not. This is an America problem. What comes into my county doesn't stay here. I'm a pass-through county. We just happen to be the first place they show up to. And so that's what, I take that very serious. Not only do I try to stop it for my own communities, I try to stop it for the rest of Americans so that this doesn't go throughout America and ruin and kill more American lives. We're going to show you some of the issues we deal with every day that are related to border crimes.
This is 71 miles and running.
You have worked for law enforcement for many, many years?
About 17 total.
Okay.
Yeah.
And before that, you were?
I was a business owner, minding my own business.
Okay.
Never thought about being a cop. My family, there's no police officers in my family. There's no police officers in my wife's family.
So you totally changed your life?
Totally changed my life.
Wow.
And found my calling in life. And I believe more in the rule of law now than ever. And then about 7 years into my career, I thought, you know what? I don't like the direction of the country, and I didn't want to be the guy that complained about it. And so I said, you know, I'm gonna run for sheriff. And I love it. I love serving the people. I love this job. I love law enforcement. I love the country. I love everything about it. Here at the Sheriff's Office in Pinal County, we are committed to fighting against human trafficking and drug trafficking. God bless.
And today I can see that you are very present on the social media.
Yes.
This is something important to communicate, especially with the young people.
Well, because I come from a business background, I believe in marketing. And law enforcement never viewed themselves as a business or a need for marketing. And I'm not saying that law enforcement is a business, but I think there are aspects of this profession that you can treat like a business. And you can market your agency to your people. In essence, your people are your shareholders. They're the ones paying the taxes. So if you had a business, you would have shareholders, and my shareholders are the people. And there's a responsibility, I believe, to keep the people up to speed with what you're doing and create an atmosphere of we're not the enemy, that we're there to preserve the peace and protect them. And I feel like we've done a good job of having a very symbiotic relationship with our community, to where we understand each other much better than in many communities across this country.
Hey everybody, Sheriff Lamb here. So we got another video for you today. This one's a cool one. It's a pursuit, but it doesn't involve human smuggling on this one.
I'm standing against things that I deem as wrong. For example, people that don't like guns. So there's a group of people that they don't like guns, so they want to take guns away from everybody else. Well, those people over here love guns, but they're not forcing you to own one, even though it's a constitutional right. So for me, it's about standing up for what the Founding Fathers set up, the freedoms we have, our God-given freedoms, which are secured by the Constitution, because that's what it is. The Constitution doesn't give you rights. The Constitution secures rights given to you by God. So what we're saying is, you have the right to defend yourself and protect yourself. And that is a godly right. That is something you were blessed with. So we're heading to an area that's still in my county, which is probably about 60, 70 miles off the border.
Here we are.
Yep.
Alors là, le shérif, il va nous montrer un des nombreux endroits où les cartels déposent bien les migrants qui essayent de passer illégalement et d'autres viennent les rechercher pour aller plus profondément dans les terres et rejoindre d'autres États.
You can see. So this is a water jug. So what they do is they bring their water and they use a black jug so it doesn't reflect the sun off the water. So they'll bring usually 1 or 2 water bottles, and then they'll have, you can see the camouflage clothes, and then here you have a carpet shoe. So what they do is they put this on over their boot, and then they walk, and this keeps it from making any noise or leaving any tracks. They cross the border, and then they come to a place like this because you can't see them. And it's usually early in the morning, 3, 4 o'clock, after we're doing a shift change or something.
Fentanyl, it seems to be like a tsunami. You saw a big difference these last years?
It's going to get worse. Well, here in Pinal County, just my sheriff's office. Doesn't include any of the other agencies. In 2018, we had 0 M30 fentanyl pill seizures. In 2019, we had 677 pills. In 2020, we had over 200,000 pills. In 2021, we had over 1.2 million pills. And this year, we will probably far exceed 2 million pills. Of the which, 40% of those are lethal doses. So what we do every day, we believe it matters. Because we're saving that one child of that family who would have died because those pills made it to their hands. So I focus on the things that are real threats, which are illegal immigration, really human trafficking and drug trafficking.
So please, God bless and be safe.
Et si vous souhaitez découvrir encore plus de contenu de ce monde à part, n'hésitez pas à rejoindre notre communauté de voyageurs en vous abonnant à notre page Facebook.